I said, Mr. President, you are planning with your deputy, the Mr. Yesa, because they are working together. And Mr. Yesa has been given the responsibility to make sure Mother KOOME is out of the job. And in fact, the meeting that was held, and I've come to get the content, is that the president argues that Mount Kenya East cannot have the presidency and head of judiciary at the same time. Okay. Because Mr. Yesa is in the presidency and Mother KOOME is in the judiciary, the president has told Mr. Yesa, if Mother KOOME is not removed so that we can take this seat to another region, you will have to go yourself. So you must make sure that Mother KOOME is out. In fact, that is a responsibility has been given. All these things that are going on, the petitions, the JSC, it is Mr. Yesa who is coordinating to save his job, because the president is clear that you cannot have the presidency in Mount Kenya East and also have the president of the Supreme Court and the Chief Justice in the same area. And all I was saying, I am not threatening the president. I cannot threaten. I just told him the truth. I'm a truthful man. I was in Meru. Mr. President, you have hatched a scheme with your deputy to remove Mother KOOME as Chief Justice. If you succeed, and he can succeed because he was able to remove a deputy president who is elected by 7.2 million Kenyans. So the one for Chief Justice is even much easier. Once you do that, your relationship with the people of Meru is irreparably damaged. And there is no need for you even to come to Meru because you get a very hostile reception. As we speak, the situation in that Mount Kenya East is already very bad for him. The other day he sent messages of condolence to a funeral in Embu. And the people said, we want to hear nothing about it. He has not been to Meru. Meru is worse than Embu for him. If he succeeds now in removing Mother KOOME, the people of Meru will even be more wild. They will be more hostile. And I was saying, Mr. President, because you don't listen. Okay. I tried to advise you, you did not listen to me. Now you are struggling. You are begging Raila Odinga to save you, to hold your government together. You are going home unless Raila holds your hand. And even if he does, I don't think he'll help you. If you go ahead with this scheme with your Mr. Yesa and succeed in removing Mother KOOME, if you dare come to Meru, you will have a reception that is very cold, that is very indifferent. Again, I also want to advise him, please stop disbanding the Supreme Court. It is not good for the country. All right. It will create problems. People will have serious doubts about the 2027 general elections, because if you put a bench that you have crafted, we already start going to the elections with a lot of doubts. And once people don't believe a process will be fair, we start on bad footing, and that is not good for the country.
So let me ask you this, and perhaps just to quote the words of the current Deputy President, Professor Kithure Kindiki, who you're referring to as Mr. Yesa, perhaps reflecting on the headlines on the Standard. He said this in response to your statements in Meru. He questioned who defends the judges who may be innocent but do not have ethnic godfathers, perhaps hinting that, you know, the judiciary is apolitical. Politicians shouldn't perhaps interfere with the runnings of this independent arm.
Mr. Yesa cannot have a different opinion. He is an employee of President William Ruto. President William Ruto wants to remove Mother KOOME and the other 6 judges from the Supreme Court. So his work is to defend, but automatically.
But the question...
But I'm asking, he is trying to say that my defense of Mother KOOME is ethnic. I want to ask Mr. Yesa, when I said that the Director General of the National Intelligence Service is incompetent, members of the Somali community came out with fury to defend him. I never heard Mr. Yesa say that that is ethnicity. When ODM members threatened to remove Speaker Moses Wetangula, members of the Luhya nation from Western Kenya came out in numbers to defend Moses Wetangula. I never heard Mr. Yesa say anything. But when the people of Mount Kenya see that there is a problem here and one of our own is being victimized, then he says it's his ethnicity. Yet himself is one of us. But
two wrongs don't make a right.
But I'm saying, that's what all communities do. The Somali community have defended their own. The Luhya people have defended their own. There is nothing wrong with Rigathi Gachagua defending his sister. And because our MPs and senators have been compromised by President William Ruto that they cannot speak for one of their own, Mr. Yesa cannot see anything different from what he has been told by this employer. Somebody must speak also for the mountain people. Okay. And I really have no apologies because I'm not the only one. When the Somalis defended their own, nobody raised an issue. When the Westerners defended their own, nobody raised an issue. And this is what is happening, Rogers, in this country. That the only people who cannot defend their own are the Mount Kenya people. It is called tribalism. But when other communities defend their own, or when they take a particular position, they are called tribalists. I saw the CS Interior saying that defending Mother KOOME on my part is tribalism. Yet, 2 months before, when President William Ruto was under a lot of attack from all corners for mismanaging the country, that CS said that the president was being attacked because he's a Kalenjin. So I want to say, this profiling of the Mount Kenya people must come to an end. The Mount Kenya people, like any other community, have a right to defend their people. They have a right to articulate their issues. They have a right to say what is good for them and what is not good for them. And I want to ask the Mount Kenya people not to be apologetic about who they are. None of us made an application to God to be born where we were, where we were born. That is God's decision. And we must be allowed as a people to have our own identity and to articulate our issues like all other communities do.
So tell me this, and perhaps it's interrelated. What's